Hello, Morna. It's really lovely to see you again today. You've obviously been speaking to clients. You would be required to wear a mask like everybody else at the moment, and you've just stepped out to have a conversation with them.
In your own office, you can leave it off.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful.
So, Morna, you're only a small team at Winmalee Neighbourhood Centre, but you do mighty things. And as our congregation are aware of some of the things that you do at Winmalee. But just wanting to check in with you today and just find out from you how things are going. I guess particularly we would have had this conversation without lockdown anyway, but lockdown's obviously having a significant impact. So can you tell us a little bit about the changes and what kind of needs you're seeing?
Lots of women, sole parent women, who have lost hours because the majority of mums are part-time casual workers, and they usually work in hospitality or hairdressing or something to do with that have all closed. So they've all lost hours. Ordinarily, they've been able to be self-sufficient. They may need a little hand up here and there, but usually they've gotten on with it. But unfortunately, now it's just impacting them. They can't. The rents are really high. You know, you can't get anything under $450.
No.
So there's the rent impact. Then you've got the food that you've got to buy. Then you've got your fuel you've got to buy and all that. So people are looking from far afield to try and get help. So we've had people from all over coming for help. Our food program is run every day at the Fresh Food. So we're now looking at going to the other side of the mountain. I've just contacted my CPO today. There's a need out there on the Mount Tomah side, Dargan, Clarence, for fresh food. So we're looking at trying to get some out that way.
So tell us a little bit how the Second Chance food works.
Okay, so every morning, Coles dock at 8 o'clock. Then they start taking out all their waste, which would normally go into landfill. We take all their waste, whether it be fresh veggies, bread, pastries, whatever. We bring it back to the centre, and Janet and I go through the process of sorting it out, the good, the bad and the ugly. So last year we delivered 92 tonne of food to the Blue Mountains. That went from Blackheath down to the Lower Mountains, and we deliver every day. And now we're supporting Food Bank with it too, because they've had an increase in need, and we collect a lot of food. So that's every day. We have it in our centre, but we also get it out in the mountains. There's a big need for fresh food continually, especially milk and eggs. They're our big high needs at the moment. We have industrial fridges and freezers, so we collect anything, everything, and we freeze it. If it's used by today, it's frozen. So that's happening. Our food pantry on Friday, where people can buy 10 items for $10 or 15 for $15. That's a great self-sufficient type of program that they feel it's reciprocal because they're giving you something.
Yeah.
So it's a nice program for people who would not ordinarily want to take anything. But on the pantry is meat, washing powder, you know, all those items that are very expensive to buy.
Sure.
So that's still running under COVID health guidelines.
Yeah. And so lockdowns and COVID generally has increased the need, as I understand it. So you're seeing lots more clients and from further afield, but also because you have been supporting people who were affected by the bushfires in the end of 2019, 2020, and also flood relief from earlier this year as well. Yeah. So the need is just extraordinary, isn't it? And people still without homes or like real residences that they can call home, as people are in temporary places. And
I think what people don't understand is whether it's bushfire, whatever disaster it is, if you're a renter, you're behind the 8 ball straight away, because the guidelines under many of the big charities that got donations was it had to be your place of residence. Well, renters, that is their place of residence, but it's not viewed as if it's your home. They look at it like, oh, well, you can move on and get another rental.
And no, you
not
can't.
That simple.
No,
Not
that's
that
right.
simple. And 99% of renters do not have contents insurance.
Right. Okay.
So that's what we're experiencing now, you know, that gap that they're now identifying. So tomorrow we're off down to South Windsor to help some people who are relocating.
Okay. Wow.
And they were living in a caravan park.
Yep.
Because a lot of people do on low incomes now.
That's right.
But that was totally flooded. Everything went. So
yes, Graham and I met a number of people from one of those caravan parks through chaplaincy, disaster chaplaincy.
Yep.
And yeah, gosh, the stories that we heard, and it's so hard. So hard.
It is very difficult for people.
Yeah. And that's the thing, we've gone from one disaster to another, if we call COVID a disaster as well. So from fires to flood and to COVID, or COVID in between actually, or bookending, it's just been one after the other. And for those of us who are not so affected by the first two, the bushfire and the flood, we kind of forget about them in a way. We're just dealing with COVID right now, but other people are dealing with potentially all three at the same time.
You've got, what's interesting though is that there's elderly people down in the Hawkesbury, because it is rural, who their livelihood was, you know, selling a few cattle here and there. And I was talking to an older couple the other day, and the flood just took all the top of their soil off. It's just sand now. They just can't feed their cattle.
Yeah.
So
they've got nothing.
And they were bushfire affected too. So there's a double whammy for a lot of people.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Very tough times. And as I said at the beginning, you're running a really small team there, but your work is mighty.
Yes.
And I hope you know that we as a congregation, you know, support you in the little ways that we can.
Yes, you do.
And is there any, like in the past, you know, we have had collections of tin food and things. Is that something that I mean, people can't go out and shop at the moment, or they're reticent to, just shopping online or whatever. But is there a way that we can continue to support? Is that the best way to support you in trying to get tin food to you, or is there some other things that we could do?
Oh, look, vouchers are the way to go at the moment, because I can put them in registered post. Get them to people very quickly.
Sure.
That's how we're operating at the moment. However, we have got a letter, because all neighbourhood centres are essential services. We've been deemed as essential. So we all should be open, doing our best. We also have a letter to travel, so we can deliver as an essential service. And I've had that letter checked by DCJ, and they said, yeah, that's exactly right, get out there.
Yeah, great.
So but we had a lovely donation from your congregation from someone sent to us, so thank you. I won't name names, but thank you very much. They'll know who they are. Which was very kind.
That's terrific. Okay. Well, look, I won't, I know you're really busy, so I won't keep you any longer, but thank you very much for chatting with us, and we'll be in touch again soon.